Sit down or should I stand? I can sit down. Yeah. I bumped my head. That's what I did that in an interview in Germany. I did as Mario and as Luigi and these guys in the morning disc jockeys. They're driving, doing the drive thing. And it's like, oh, you know, and you know, we have a special guest. They're doing it all in German, and then I'm pretending like I understand, and I answer in English. And I say, oh, you know, wait, it's Cologne, you know, and they said that. You know, oh, we really have that a good time. I said, well, what do you guys do when you're not making games? Oh, well, you know, we like to come to places like Cologne. We like to go around, you know. Luigi likes to go around too. Yeah, that's right. It's my year, so I went around. We went around too. We went around. Yeah, we like to go around lots of things. Like Luigi? Yeah, that's right. And we saw, what did we see, Luigi? We saw a dome. Yeah, and what happened? I bumped my head into it. I don't know why. I love Luigi. I don't know why. I know why. Because Luigi's the best. I love Luigi. Every year's a Luigi year. Yeah, really. Are you guys having a good time? What a great show. I love it. I spend 4 hours today autographing. And then I get to do this, which is really fun for me because I love talking with you guys. And did you guys, have you been to one of my panel discussions before?
Yes.
Yeah, but not everybody, right? So I'll bore you guys that have been there before because I'll go drone on about stuff. So, you know, I'm a huge proponent that you should do whatever you love to do in life, and that life is about fun and joy. And so when I come to a con like this, like Sac-Anime, which I absolutely love so much, it just makes me so happy to see people being happy and having fun and dressing up and just, you know, being your inner child and being your happy self. That just makes me very thrilled. Because I think that's what life is about, you know? And life is so short and it's very unpredictable and, you know, the only thing we know for sure is that it's going to end. We just don't know when, you know? So you should have as much fun while you're here as you possibly can. That's what I think, and, you know. And having friends and people that you love and love being with and you can let your hair down with and come to things like this too. I think that's really magical experience. We didn't have these when I was growing up, so you know it was easier to be isolated. So it's really cool to see people coming out and having fun together. So thank you all, thank you. So I became an actor. Now, see, I'm one of these people. I'll say, oh, you know, keep doing what you love in life. Find your passion, discover, you know, explore your passion and follow your heart and do the things that you love to do in life. Because, you know, you're at the age of like 15, 20, 25, you don't necessarily know what you want to do in life, you know? You just know that you're alive-ish, you know? And you know, so, you know, it's like, how do you find out what you want to do? Well, you keep doing what gives you pleasure, you know, and there's no guarantee, but I'm pretty sure that it works out that way, that as you do what you love to do in life, more and more and more, you attract things to yourself that will bring you more and more happiness. So I'm a big believer in that. Now that said, so it's easy for me to go, okay, so just keep doing what you love to do in life. But when I was 18 years old, I had no idea what I wanted to do. I knew I was in college. I knew I had to go to, you know, yes, you go to school, you finish college, and then you go on and do a profession, you know. And I dropped out of college. I was like, I was a brat. I wanted to do law, and I had a great professor, an English guy, and he taught political theory, and I thought, this is the happiest I've ever been in school, because he's the only teacher that ever said, you know, what is the nature of man according to Hobbes, Locke, Rousseau, Voltaire, blah, 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 and based on what you've read and studied, what is your opinion of the nature of man? No one had ever asked me to think before. So I was like, what? You're kidding me, okay? You know, so I love this professor, and I went back for my last like couple quarters, and I couldn't get him for a single class, so I pouted and I walked out of UC Berkeley. So, yeah, and I have no idea what I want to do. I'm like, dee-dee-dee. And a friend of mine goes, well, why don't you come and take an acting class from me at Diablo Valley College? And I said, because there's no way I could ever possibly stand up in front of people and speak. There's just no way, you know. He goes, no, you should go. I said, no, there's no way. I said, no, you should go. I said, no, I can't. He said, no, you should go. I said, no, I really, he says, there's a cafeteria, you know, there's a student cafeteria, and before you go to class, we can have lunch. and then after lunch, then you can go to class. Well, I might go for the lunch. I don't know if I'll stay for the class. I always go for lunch. And that's where he got me to go to class, and I had no idea. I had no idea. You're going to be an actor. I didn't know what acting even was. And I knew that I liked to make my mom laugh, and I knew I liked to make people laugh and be the class clown. I didn't know, I didn't associate that. And I remember we did our first thing that we had to do, of course, is a monologue. You learn a monologue, and ours was from the Spoon River anthology about a bunch of people that are dead. And and you come back and go, oh, my name is Joe. I was the plumber, and I died the horrible death in the fire. And it's like it's a typical sort of like I bumped my head. It was just terrible. But of course you did it, and I was like the last person. I'm like, oh God, please. Don't let him call on me. And of course it goes through everybody. I'm like, uh-oh, I'm gonna die. Please, let me die before I get up there. Please. And I didn't die. Instead I went up and I had to do my monologue. And I swear to you, I was shaking so much. I was so scared. My right leg was shaking like this, and I'm like, I could feel my knee bouncing up and down. I'm like, oh my gosh. And I put my weight on that leg so it would be better. And then the other leg started going like this. I'm like, oh my gosh. Spread your legs apart, and meanwhile I'm going, I died a horrible death, and I put your legs apart, and then put your weight evenly. And I did that, and then both of them were going like this. And I was completely convinced that I was going, my name is Joe, and I finished my monologue, and I did not die. I want you to know, I did not die in that monologue. Instead, I survived it, and I finished, and people were like, oh my gosh. You were the only person who wasn't nervous. And I'm like, what? I was convinced that I was like drenched in sweat, and that things were, and that's amazing. And so I thought, okay, well, I'll do this again. So I started doing scene work, getting a little bit less nervous, and all of a sudden, there's a school play, the taming of this, not the taming of the Midsummer Night's Dream, and I decide I'm going to play the lead role in it. Thank you very much. I got water. Yay! Princess Leia water. So I'm like, this is great. So I'm, now I'm confident. I'm a young actor. I'm gonna go audition for this. And I went and I auditioned. That there lies Titania sometime of the night. And I'm like, oh, I watched all the other actors audition because that's what you do in college plays. And I went up there and I did my audition, and I felt so good and so powerful and so happy on that stage that I was absolutely convinced that I was meant to be an actor, that I was going to be an actor, and the first thing I was going to do as an actor was to play Oberon in Midsummer Night's Dream, the male lead. And the next day, the casting notices come up, and I didn't get Oberon. I didn't get, like, sword holder, duck, quacking. I got nothing, it's just like zero. I didn't even get to be the sword. I was very skinny at the time. I got nothing, and I'm like, okay, now that, and here's the thing, that lit a fire underneath me, and all of a sudden I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go be an actor. So I started studying speech, and I got first place in the speech tournament, and the state championship, the national championship, and then Berkeley Rep came out and they auditioned for a summer apprenticeship program, and I went to that audition. It was a professional theater company, and I auditioned against the same people that had just done the school play, and I did that monologue that I did, and I got the part, and I got the summer apprenticeship, and from there, then I went to drama school in London, and Sir John Gielgud was the patron of our school, which I thought was really cool, except his theory of acting was, say the words and don't bump into the furniture. Which I think I managed to do for several years, Somewhat. I bumped my head a lot, but so I had no idea, and I don't know how that happened. And then, then I was like, I did theater for 10 years, and I started doing corporate theater. I finished theater because I was tired of it. It was hard to make a living, and living in people's houses and stuff. And then all of a sudden, I said, I'm going to quit. I'm going to go into business. And of course, I couldn't do business at all. Complete utter failure. But within 3 months of leaving the theater, I got a phone call from a friend. Do you want to come and do an audition for a corporate video? And I said, what's a corporate video? He goes, well, it's a video, and it's corporate. That sounds interesting. And I don't know why, but I went to this audition, and I got the part. It's like monolithic memories. Monolithic memories. movies, you know? And I got to be a ham, and they paid me more for being a ham in a day than I was making a week in the theater. So I said, this is for me. And so I started doing that sort of thing, and I did end up doing 600 corporate videos. After doing 600 corporate videos, there I go, and all of a sudden, bada bing, bada boom, bada ba, I do this commercial of American Gothic, you know, the farmer with the pitchfork and the wife that's sitting there. So we did that like all day, because in those days it took like all day to do the lighting. So he finished that and said, "Wow, what a great job! Yeah, I get $1 for doing that silly, you know." And the director goes, "That was great. Listen, do you do voiceover?" And I said, "Of course I do voiceover." What's a voiceover? You just read the script, and you know, that puts you in front of a microphone. You read the script, and you know, and I like that. And yeah, how long does it have to be? 15 seconds. 10 seconds. Okay. Orchard Supply Hardware, the right item at the right price, right now. Perfect. Thank you very much. Here's another $250. I'm like, I'm an actor. Yahoo! So I stumble in from one thing to that, and then I start doing commercials. I do like 150 commercials, and then, well, you know, all of a sudden it's like the commercials are waning, and I start doing trade shows. And so I'm just starting, you know, how did I get my trade shows? I bumped my head into it. Someone said, "Do you want to?" They were doing this on a video. Oh, and if you have to be free to come to Philadelphia. I'm like, free to go to Philadelphia? What? And you're going to pay me to fly and go to Philadelphia? So then I'm doing shows all over America. And one day I'm sitting at the beach doing what actors do, which is waiting for the phone to ring. And the phone rang, and it was my friend who was a magician. He goes, "You should go do this audition. It's for a trade show in Las Vegas." And you go and you know, what's a trade show? Well, it's a show at a trade thing, you know. and so I said, well, there's no way I would ever crash an audition. I'm a professional actor. Oh wait, maybe I'm not. What's the address? And I don't know why, but I went to this audition. I have no idea why I went to this audition. I was comfortable, I had my crossword puzzle, I had the sun, it was a beautiful day, the sun was going down, and I went and I got there late, because I was late, and I bumped my head on it, you know. And I walk in the door, and just as I'm walking in the door, the producer's walking out the door, the cameraman is walking out the door with the camera in the bag, and I said, "Hi. Can I read for this?" And he looks at me and he goes, because obviously the audition had been over. And, all right, come inside. Come in. We'll set the camera up, and you start thinking. Now, you're an Italian plumber from Brooklyn, right? So you're this video game character. So make up a voice and make up an accent, and you know, and then make up a video game. And you start talking, and when you stop talking, that's going to be the audition, because you're going to have these contacts glued to your face. So when you move your face, this real-time animation system will move the face in the same time and go, "Hello, I am Mario." And that should make the cartoon character do the same thing in the same time. Of course, we have no idea if this is going to work or not, so if it doesn't work, you're going to have to stand there as whatever your name is, talking to people all day, you know? And I said, okay. So, an Italian plumber from Brooklyn. That's pretty easy, you know. Say, "Hey, how you doing? I'm under your sink. Don't bother me, right? Get out of my face. I'm working here," you know. And I'm thinking, well, that won't be fun to do that all day. And besides, I believe that comedy should always be really nice to people, you know. It's like, you can't be nice going, "Hey, yeah, what do you want?" you know. So I thought, well, I can make it, you know, nicer, and I've done Gremio and Taming of the Shrew. Nice old Italian guy, talk like a geese. I know for several years before, I thought, well, that'll be more fun to do something like that. So I'll just make up a video game. What's a video game? I played Pong, you know, that, you know, I can make that up. I go, oh, you know, hello, I say, I'm a waka 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 waka, you know, or I can, you know, remember Space Invaders and Asteroids, you know? Yeah. That was my extent of it, although I did used to play Tank, too. I don't know, that was like on an Atari, and you go around the tank, and I would always get mad at my friend when my friend would destroy me all the time, so I'd stop playing that. Aww. It was too easy to bump my head. No, but I thought I just didn't know anything about video games. So I thought, well, I'll just make something up. I have no idea what I'm going to make up, but I'll just make stuff up. And he said, start talking and don't stop until you run out of things to say. I wonder if he really means don't run out of things to say, because I don't think I'll ever run out of things to say. I can start talking and then not stop, and then see how long I can go, and they wouldn't even know I was doing it until tomorrow or something. You know? It got my mischief up, you know, and I like getting my mischief up, you know. And so, you know, all of a sudden I'm thinking, okay, I'll just make stuff up, and I'll make, you know, instead of hello, how are you, nice Sacramento Italian guy, I'll make him a bit younger, and then I'll just talk, action. I go, hello, I'm a Mario, let's make a pizza pie together. Okie dokie, you go get some sausage, I'm gonna get some spaghetti. We're gonna put spaghetti and sausage in a pizza, and then I'm gonna chase you with the pizza. If I catch you with the pizza, you gotta eat the pizza, and then we're gonna make another pizza. You can make whatever pizza you want. Then you're gonna chase me with the pizza. If you catch me with the pizza, I'm gonna eat the pizza. Then we're gonna make a spaghetti meatballs. I'm gonna chase you up the hill with spaghetti meatballs. Then I'm gonna chase you down the hill with the spaghetti meatballs. You know, and I was like, well, this is fun. I'm having a good time with this. I'll just keep going. And I did not bump my head for 35 minutes until I heard, cut, stop talking, please. There's no more videotape. Thank you, we'll be in touch. Which to an actor is like the kiss of death, right? It's like, we'll be in touch means, there's the door. Would you please leave the door and close it behind you? You know, oh, we'll be in touch, we love you very much, you know. So I'm like, okay, thanks a lot. And I'm like, wow, okay, there's still time to go watch the sunset. So I think I went back to the beach and I watched the sunset. Like, it was a nice day. I never thought another thing about it. But I walked out the door, and he got on the phone. He called Nintendo and he said, I found our Mario. I got it. And he only sent my tape. Of all the people, all the other actors there, he only said, thank you very much. Years ago, and I talked to him since then, and he said he turned to the camera, and the cameraman turned to him while I was going through, you know, and said, okay, then we'll get a kitchen sink, and we'll make it into pizza, and I'll put the kitchen sink in the pizza, and I'll change it with the pizza, you know, and he said, you know, do you think if we left right now and went for a cocktail, we'd come back in a half an hour? And the cameraman said, well, as long as he doesn't bump his head. No, he didn't. He goes, well, let's go and find out, you know? But they didn't leave, they stayed there. And I guess what happened was every other actor would start off, you know, hey, my name's Mario, how you doing? Let's make some pizza, let's do some pies, let's have a good time together. You mean something like that? And they would break character, stop playing, and then break the character. And as soon as he did that, this director would go, yes, that's it, thank you very much. Next. Because his direction was clear. Start talking and don't stop till you run out of things to say. And I was the only person that took that mischievously. And literally, too. And so that was 23 absolutely glorious, fun, really, really wonderful years ago. And my whole life is so enchanted. I get to have so much fun. I get to record games with people at Nintendo, and I love the creative teams there, the most amazing minds and supportive people. I work with a localization group they're called the Treehouse in Redmond, Washington. We record most things in Seattle, although I have recorded also in Japan, which was really, really fun to see Mr. Koji Kondo's studio, that the whole symphony can go in this beautiful white pine woods and massive consoles where I think Mr. Kondo's a genius. I know that because when I wake up in the morning, I'm happy. I'm hearing when the coffee maker doesn't work. It's like and I just. That was so much fun. And so I work with these great people that are creative minds. Then I go do PR work and things like that, you know, representing the company around the world, which is really fun because I love to travel. And then I do media things and some advertising. And then I get to come to shows like this and see wonderful people like you. And it's so much fun. It's my favorite thing is to meet fans of video games and anime and things, because you guys are so passionate about life and enjoy it so much. So that's my life in a nutshell. And I always honestly, I wish for everybody that you find things that you really love to do and pursue those things and bring happiness, express who you are, because that's all acting is. It's not, you know, the elements of those characters that we portray as actors are really just they're elements of ourselves, you know, and so when you're if you're a garbage man or a game designer or whatever you are, you're just expressing yourself, and to find out what it is that gives you juice, that gives you joy, and do that for a living is what I wish for everybody, because you will enjoy life. And the universe has this incredible way of when you're having a great time and you're living in gratitude and you're expressing your love in your life, it just has a natural way of like going, oh, you like that? Have more, you know? And so you get more, and you get more and more and more, and it becomes like that snowball that goes down the hill and gets bigger and bigger and bigger, you know? So I wish you an avalanche of love and joy and happiness and fun, because that's certainly what I have. And I also love the games that we do. I'm really proud that we make games that I think are really family fun and young adult fun, child fun, adult fun, fun for an old geezer like me, you know. I mean, I love it, you know. It's really fun. And I going around the world and meeting people and you know, like Super Mario 3D World, you know, it's like kitty cat, you know. I just love it. It's really fun, you know. Plus, you know, I live in the Bay Area, so this one this Sac-Anime is really close. But there's something unique about Sac-Anime people. I don't know what it is. You're just very friendly, very kind, and very generous of spirit. So thank you. And obviously, the only reason that video games are successful, the only reason that actors get to come to places like this to see you is because of you. You know. So thanks for keeping me in your heart and saying, come on down, because I love it. So. You can ask me any question you want. I won't answer anything, but no, you can answer me. Do you want to ask questions, or should I keep rambling?
Question?
Ramble? Question. Let's ask a few questions, then I'll ramble in my answers. Okay. There's a microphone here. I don't know if it works or not, but well, if it's not, I'll just repeat the question. Oh. Yeah.
This one works.
Hi, Mario.
Hello, Charles. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you.
I'm Joe. Thankfully,
That's Joe.
Thankfully, I did not die in a fire.
Yes.